one of the things that I really learned, especially for ISTE, virtual ISTE, was that there was so much content that I really felt like I had to plan, okay, I'm going to watch this live. Oh, but these 3 or 4 or 5 other ones, I can go back and watch on archives. So we want to talk a little bit about last year and then move on and talk about this year, because the deadline for conference proposals for TIE 2021 is February 28th. So you have tons of time yet to do that.
No, really. Yeah, that's
Julie,
tons
you
of
can
time.
do it in about 10 minutes. So MPLA, what did that take us? At least 12 minutes maybe to get that one together.
Once you get it down,
Yeah.
you just pump them out. So yes, so we've got the Jamboards going. So big takeaways from TIE 20, and I am loving that somebody said the creatively productive note-taking options. And so I am working with her to bring her to SDLA this fall.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So I think she'd be really fun, and would apply to all of us, all the different options. And she's been really sharing some things online again, which has been nice because she's always got good stuff.
Right, and personally, she had some health issues, so I think now she's back to sharing more of her tips and tricks. I don't know who put the Zoom attire on there, but that's me pretty much, except for the slippers.
I know it is. I love that picture actually. And the flexibility and adaptability is one of the things that when we switch to TIE, when I think back about TIE 20, some of the stuff that I think about were, we didn't have a lot of sessions, but the sessions we had were really you could go to them and use your whatever you wanted to look at hat and take away good content. And so that was really nice about TIE 20. I really I've been using, like the podcast one. I think I shared that with you guys last time. So one of those things that it's I'm still pulling stuff out of TIE 20. So I'm glad that I should probably add the podcast one in there.
Yeah, please go ahead and add as we're talking, guys. And I had to think, TIE 20. This has been the longest year ever, and it's almost a year since we've been doing things virtual. It's like,
I'll drop the Jamboard in the chat for you guys so you have it.
And my 4th grade student was here today, so I was like, look, Justin, we're doing a Jamboard too with the college people, because he's been doing it in 4th grade.
That's so cool. I'm glad they're doing it.
But we're going back March 1st. Cheyenne Eagle Butte schools are going back face to face.
So you're going back for the bad weather, in other words, and when the snow starts to really fly, you'll be back in person.
So yeah, feel free to always come back and do any of these. The Jamboard will be available, so if something comes to you. But then we'll move on. And again, this is one I've already said. That's my sticky note there, that you really have to plan for 2 strands, and also for your credit for the cohort. You'll need to do some archive sessions too to get your hours, correct, Julie?
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't have, there is not 12 hours of content, live content, much like there wasn't 12 hours of live content or 15 hours of live content
15.
last year. So have you guys managed to attend any virtual conferences or go to anything? No.
Just trying to keep the head above water.
Yeah, keeping up.
Yes, all the time. The FETC conference, which is in Florida every year, was virtual, and that one was really neat to attend just because it's a lot of, the big name speakers and a lot of the new technology and stuff. And I've always wanted to go. So I was really glad that I got to kind of pop in, but depending on what I'm doing, you don't really, I either watch archives a lot or I only half listen to things. So I understand. For like TIE conference, do you guys think that you will be able to, get some time to attend TIE conference?
Live, or
Live?
will it be archive time?
I'm
I
actually
think I'll
gonna
get
apply for professional days for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
me too.
nice. Oh, and Shelly's going to ISTE in June. Yay!
Virtual.
Virtual, we'll be there.
Is the
Karen?
TIE conference one day shorter? Like, would have it been through the 20th if it was in person?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So technically, if you attend all of it live, it's 9 hours, but then
Okay.
we're gonna have a little get together, so that'll be at least 10. And then
Not
we'll
10
fill
hours.
in with some archives.
Yeah.
Okay. The TIE information is always great, but I'm super, super bummed to miss out on that time of just conversation and I don't know.
Oh, we'll still have conversation virtual.
Yeah.
I mean, with
Yeah,
our
yeah,
group. Yeah.
But it's just not the same. Like the car
No.
rides and
The car time. The car time is awesome.
the car time is what I'm missing.
And dinner and drinks.
Right?
Yes. Yes. I mean, I have drinks, but not.
But not to share.
That's true.
I do. I am missing that too. But I am excited at the possibilities the virtual provides us because of the, if there's 2 sessions simultaneously, I can go to one live and watch the other one later, so there's good and bad. But Amy Jo, I'm thrilled that you're taking PD days for the TIE conference. That's awesome. Because that is going to really, and I think, just from talking to teachers and, different, things people have shared, one of the challenges with virtual conferences is getting your buildings to recognize that it is a PD day, and that you will, just because you're not going somewhere doesn't mean you're not really at work, or you're not going to be at work.
Right. That you can't do both, really, if you're attending live. And one of the things, go ahead and put that in there, Amy Jo, that you're taking professional development days for that, because that's important. And I think that's a mindset we have to work on with our administrators, is that I'm not leaving home, but I'm not at work. And to me, I love it because it doesn't depend on the weather. Well, unless we have an electrical outage, it doesn't depend on the weather.
I have rolling blackouts. I keep thinking rolling blackouts will take down time.
Yeah, but can you think of so many times that we've attended TIE in Rapid when it's snowing?
Well, and Sioux Falls.
Right.
I probably didn't go because it was snowing.
I have a question. That's a Sunday, Monday, correct?
Right.
Correct. And
And
so
we're going to talk about that in a minute here too, the times.
And I here, I can pop that over. So the TIE conference times are 1 to 5:30 on Sunday, and then they're going to be 8 to 1 on Monday. And we do have a tentative schedule, and I think this will probably stay pretty much what it is. We're doing creation labs on Sunday, so instead of a 4-hour chunk, we're doing 2 2-hour chunks. And the creation labs are going to be, they're supposed to be something with takeaway, and so they're not just going to be sit and get. You're going to have an opportunity to do a takeaway. So I was working with a makerspace earlier this week, and I was like, you need to do something, hands-on, so that, we're not just sitting back and watching your makerspace. And so he's like, oh, I can do that. So I'm really excited to see what they do. And then on Monday, we've got 2 keynotes. We've got Weston, and I can't say his last name, the Bold School guy, Weston, Kiesschnick. And
Kieschnick?
yeah, sure. don't know.
I know I've heard it, but I'm probably saying it wrong too.
I know, I'm like, I think I've heard it. I still can't say it. He's our opening keynote. And so I'm excited about that. And then we've got breakout sessions that are just, going to be standard breakout sessions, but you notice we're going to do some snapshot sessions where they're just short 20-minute sessions. And I'm actually really excited about those too, because I think we'll be able to, if you just have a real, concise thing you want to share. We are doing a lunch break this year, which is awesome. And then the closing keynote is Mandy Froelich, and she's pretty fun too. I haven't heard her, but she's very energetic from what Megan has said. So should be fun. So that's our crew, and kind of the overview of what the plan is.
Do we need to sign up, or is that part of the grant? We just wait.
Well, it's free this year. So you will want to register, but registration doesn't open, I don't think, until the beginning of March. Yeah, it says it's opening in March. So there will be no cost. We are working, like the vendor hall will be, we're working to get more vendors this year and have a much more, give you time to go to the vendor hall and meet with the vendors and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that. What else?
And the poster sessions will be pre-recorded. So all that thing will count towards your 50, all those things, excuse me, will count towards your 15 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
And so you'll want to register whether you're going to go live or not, because you'll have access to the archives, correct, Julie?
Yes. Yes. And that's, last year I had some people that everybody was teaching virtually last year, and depending on when they were teaching, they would come to a session and then they would,
In and out.
and they teach type of thing. And so it was actually really cool. When I read their reflections, how they were able to take advantage of their day. But I know when you're teaching a regular day, you really do need to take that PD time, but I can't talk. All right. So, Jill,
So we'd like you to work and really think about it, even though we know it's, not months ahead, it's only weeks, the deadline. What kind of session could you do at TIE? I threw in Wakelet because I love that Wakelet lets you do like folders now. That's not what they call them. What do they call them? It just went right out of my mind. But anyway, I have all my Wakelet collections that I had for 8th grade English are all in one spot. And then all my Wakelet collections that I have for the grant are in another spot. They used to all be mixed together. I've been asking them for folders for a long time. That's what I keep calling it. And I'm sure other people have too. But then using Wakelet with students, who added that one on?
Oh, as a curation tool for students.
Yeah. Hey, I will partner with somebody if you wanted to do a session, or, it doesn't have to be the full session, the 20-minute quick one, or a poster session. Doesn't have to be Wakelet either, but.
what else are you guys using a lot right now?
Yeah, or things that you didn't use before you joined the cohort, something that would be, interesting. It doesn't have to be necessarily library to any educator.
Jenny, I still love your book groups, and somebody else did book groups. I love that, and the Zoom book groups. And, I think that could be a really neat thing to share in some manner. I mean, I wouldn't do that as a creation station because that's 2 hours, but it'd be a great,
yeah, that would be a great 20-minute one.
A great 20-minute one. And then Charlotte, you did some book groupy stuff too, right? And so, you can even go together and do something just to kind of, share what you're doing. Because one of the things that I'm seeing is you guys are doing some really amazing things, and we really need to share that. I mean, what we're doing with our students and how we're supporting our teachers and all that is just, it's good to share. And a lot of what we do isn't necessarily like Wakelet isn't necessarily library. I mean, you can do that anywhere, so.
And what I've been fumbling around calling a folder, Wakelet calls a space. You name your space and then you can put whatever collections you want into that space. I had to look it
so
up, sorry.
Great. So what do they mean by join a space?
You can join someone else's, like if you wanted to join my 8th grade ELA space,
Okay.
yeah. There's group collections, there's collaboration through Wakelet too. One of the things I loved is when, I didn't have to go into each kid's account. They just had to link their Wakelet to the assignment in Google Classroom. I clicked on it, there it is. It was great. That was a
So
new thing
here's-
last year though.
This is my space, right?
Over here, yeah, so you have a T space for training, and then when you click on your picture, that's your other space.
This is my my messy space.
Right, but you can move these collections into your T space if you want.
Okay, so I don't have that T circle.
Well, you have to add it. Do you have the plus
Okay.
underneath it?
Okay. That is.
And then you name it. And then you could put a graphic in there. It doesn't have to just be if you don't put a graphic, it's the first letter of whatever you name it. So she called it
It's a T
training.
space. Well, I was going to kind of drop in my but actually I should organize it by like Google Classroom, because I have a ton of things that are all Google. So it's not just training, it's googly stuff. So you just drag them and they go? No. How do you make them go?
Oh my gosh, I just did it. You'd think I'd know. Click on your on your hot dog there next to one of them.
Gotcha.
There we go, move collection.
All right, those 3 dots.
Yeah, the hot dog.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
The skinny snowman laying down.
Et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, we don't want to spend all of our time talking about Wakelet, although it's cool.
Well, and it is. I mean, that's, I haven't really dabbled in that yet, obviously. I made my space and then I didn't get around to put anything in it. But I think that could be really, really a good session.
20-minute one, I
because
think.
Of the
Yeah.
kids, huh?
Just teaching about space is a new thing for 20 minutes. And, you could teach them about OER Commons. You could teach them about Jamboard. What are some of the other things? Some of the great templates that you might have found, like through Ditch That Textbook or bullet journaling. I mean, think of all the things that we've done throughout our classes. Or
They're not excited, I don't think.
no, I know, sorry. It's like,
An idea, but I'm not saying I want to teach it.
Joan, you
your
want us to do something else? I know.
What's your idea?
Like choice boards,
Oh, yeah.
but in relation to, I'm struggling to find the words. In relation to standards, or what's the other word? Like where students have to prove, like there's 4 different categories where students are graded on. Like one's a project category, one's a vocab. I don't know, like I'm struggling to figure out the
Like-
words.
In a rubric?
A rubric?
Yeah, and so like when a student is trying to prove all of these different categories, you can create choice boards or choice assignments or projects that correlate right directly with basically what's expected in the course that you teach. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
But it has-
I just had a teacher that I was helping with that, and like they had to do so many things, and it was so much work. it was so much work, but like it paid off because it will only help them in the long run.
So in this project, they had to show evidence of 4 things, the vocabulary. I don't know what else your 4 things.
Yeah,
were,
like for
but-
example, like when a student has to do so many things, like the actual project, for instance, they could then choose on a choice board which way they like demonstrate their learning.
Right.
And then they can choose on the choice board, like, oh, there's 4 different ideas I could do for my project demonstration. And then for another topic, it's like 4 more choices for that topic. And they all would correlate with the overarching goal of what the teacher is trying to get accomplished for the year in regards to their learning targets or standards.
Right.
So is it more of like a menu?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. No, that would be really cool. I mean, and I think, especially if you, so given that there's lots of different options right now, to do sessions, because you've put one together, and those are those kinds of things that people really do like. Here's a living, breathing example, and here's how we did it. What we pulled in for resources, how we organized it, that kind of stuff. And so if you don't want to do a live session, that could be a really awesome poster session, because it could be very visual.
Right. I'm not going to do any session. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Like,
But what I like about poster sessions, you pre-record it and you're done, then you can just attend it.
absolutely.
And that's
Yeah,
a good
no,
one. I mean,
I'm
it is,
just saying it's an idea.
it's a good
That's
idea.
good.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even do a session on the book you chose and do a book talk, or do a poster session on the book you chose, your professional development book,
Yeah.
or on any of the ones that we've used, because I think some of them aren't that well known.
Well, and that would, I think, be a really fun one, even, if a number of people went together and kind of did multiple books, because a lot of the books are, they weren't really, they weren't necessarily library focused. They were,
Right.
they were education focused. So that could be really cool, you guys, a PD book talk or PD book, whatever. Okay. So I can tell they're all percolating.
Or
So-
Bitmoji, or I'm looking through some of the stuff we've done.
So the session this year is actually, we don't have a lot of requirements for submitting a session. So you need to have your title, obviously. You need to have a description, and then you need to select your format, and then what other format you'd be willing to present your session as. And so the first one, I mean, so you just, like we said, the poster session is 10 minutes and it's pre-recorded. You make and I've always just used slides when I make mine, like one slide with everything on it type of thing. You can also do a 45-minute breakout, a 20-minute snapshot, or a 2-hour interactive creative lab. And then, if you don't want to present any other formats, you can say, I'm not willing to, I only want to do a poster session. And if you don't want me to do a poster session, I don't want to do it, and that's fine too. So that's your kind of session options. And Joan or I are really happy to partner with somebody if they want to come up with an idea and run with it. Like the Wakelet idea is an awesome one. I love the PD book idea. So any of those, if you guys want to do something, we'll be more than happy to put it together. And this will look really great on your leadership. It'll look really great on everything, just because, and it is an awesome way to get to talk to people, because you actually get to talk. And so you get to talk. Oh, there's our baby.
Hi, Oakley.
Oh, he's so cute.
It says hello.
And because we are scaffolding you to independence, it's a little different this year too. We are not holding our own 2-hour or 4-hour session with the cohort, because we'd like you to choose the topics that you want to attend at during that Sunday time. However, we're going to have our virtual happy hour, so we can get together and talk about what we're doing and what's been going on. And that would be at 6 o'clock, and that will count towards your 15 hours.
Yeah, even if we only talk about the weather and what we're drinking.
And catch up on things, because we want to talk a little bit about this guidebook that the grant says we're going to produce, so that other people can replicate the reaching out program. And so crowdsourcing, we want you to be thinking about maybe you have photographs that would be great for this guidebook of things that you've done over the, during this time. And also maybe you have something from one of your reflections or one of the surveys we've done, something that you'd like us to quote you on.
Mhm.
I did do a quick rough draft of an article, and I don't remember, I just said quote cohort member. But of course, anything you share with us, we need to make sure, especially photos, that we have permission, because this will be published nationally. Right?
Yes.
Not just for the cohort, it's going out to the public. So that's what we'll be talking about.
And so so as Joan said, the deadline to submit proposals is the 28th. And I know everybody's busy. But it is really fun and rewarding to do a session. I mean, just because it is an opportunity to share your ideas, and you get kind of that feedback in the chat and everything. And so it is super fun to be able to share what you did. I think my favorite session that I've ever done with librarians, or anybody, was the book whisperer session that I did at TIE a couple years ago, just because it was like people had so many ideas and so many things that they wanted to share. And, we could have gone for 3 hours doing that session, even though it was only an hour-long session. And it wasn't just librarians, but the librarians could really shine because we know our books. And so, it was just fun. So you can do these sessions. A 45-minute session is awesome if you want to have those conversations, and to have people do some breakout work or idea sharing and stuff like that. So those are just think about it.
Ty will provide you with technical assistance. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And plus you got Joan and I.
Are the
We'll make sure you're elected.
Do we know the archives are going to be available till May 1st, or?
I'm hoping longer, and I forgot to ask Megan that question today, because Megan and I were going back and forth on a whole bunch of stuff today. And then that one I didn't get her asked. So if you are a vendor, I know that there's now half price. There's a half price rate if you are a nonprofit. But I don't know anything else.
To back up a little bit, a couple things. Okay. A couple reminders that when you do submit a session, regardless of the type of session, you want to be really clear in your title and really clear in your expectations. We have found, we know you can't please everybody and anybody, but we have found just recently someone said, oh, this is not what I expected at all from your description. So, you want to be really clear and really, not necessarily simple, but not leave a lot of room for interpretation. And even if you think you've done that, we know people will interpret it differently. But you want a catchy title too, in some way. Think about what attracts your attention when you're looking at a schedule and you're looking at different sessions.
And so one of the things, we do not have an agenda for you guys to plan right now. Obviously we have, kind of this rough agenda. So, Amy Jo, you said you're taking PD days, so you can, kind of plan around where you're going. But I guess I would definitely take the schedule and do a little bit of thinking, how, what will work in your schedule. And so if you can't come to things live, you can't take PD days, well, you might want to say, okay, I'm going to dedicate Sunday to live, and then I'm going to watch archives. And you're going to have to plan that in. And so I guess that's because you still will have the graduate credit for the TIE conference. So you'll still have that option, like we've always had. So just kind of be aware of that, I guess, is the plan. The times, I don't think the times are going to change in terms of, like the 8 to 1. I'm pretty sure that's going to be pretty solid. And so even looking at this, I feel like you could almost get away with just taking a morning off, ish, and being able to go to some of the live sessions and miss the early afternoon. Or you could take a whole day. Just like soak it in.
Well, because you guys are pretty fantastic and you get those archives up fast.
Oh, well, I don't know. When I did it last year, I mean, I organized
a day
it. I don't know
after,
that
though.
I don't know that I'm the push behind everything this year. So I'm not sure how all that will work, what I have control over or not.
We'll just hope.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of other stuff coming down the pipe in terms of virtual professional development. Mountain Plains is virtual, ALA is virtual, ISTE is virtual, and ISTE did a really nice job with their virtual conference in December. I have to say, it was probably, other than their schedule was confusing, I mean, it was just how they organized it, because they had different links of things, and I struggled with it, but it was well done, and the archives showed up really quickly. And so even if I missed something live, I could go back and watch the archive, and you can still go back and watch the archive for 6 months, right, Joan?
Yeah, it's still open, actually.
Yeah. And then we're going to move SDLA to virtual in September. Wyoming Library Association's virtual in October. North Dakota Library Association is not virtual in October.
At
And
this
then
point, yeah.
AASL is maybe not virtual in October. And we put in the session. So the
We did,
session,
and we put in this, the AASL, we put in the session, and I have the name for people who said they'd either be attending or would be interested, so it could be sort of like a panel session. But Mountain Plains, Julie and I put one in too. And I'm trying to think, because I registered for some of these. Some of them are not very expensive at all. They're not free like TIE, but again, because they're virtual, there wouldn't be any other costs. So
For the AASL, if we're interested, do we need to reach out to you, or how do we know if we're on your list?
oh, well, let me show you. Let's see. Yeah, just send me. I'll go back and look at my list for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And
I even got cleared by my building principal.
ooh,
Yeah, I'm like all in.
okay, I had Megan, Amy Jo, Shelley, Carrie, Karen, Christy M, and Andrea.
Will you
Who
add
did I miss?
Jenny?
Jenny. Okay, I'll add
Thank
you,
you.
Jenny. I miss anybody else? I just have the feeling that ALA is liking this virtual, that maybe AASL will switch, but who knows? They're also saying we're all going to be vaccinated by the end of July, so who knows?
nobody knows. But yeah, so that's kind of up, coming up. And like I said, I've loved being able to go to conferences virtually and take advantage of those opportunities. A lot of things are being offered on weekends now too. And so one of the ones that, and this one isn't free, but if you need PD, if you need credits and you like going to conferences, the Q conferences are really good, and they're out of California, so they're like TIE in California. And let's see. Not sure when.
They're usually in the fall.
Well, no, there's one coming up in the spring too, and I'm not seeing. Oh, here it is, virtual spring. Duh, sorry. And this one is not free, but they've got some pretty high power keynote speakers and stuff like that. And they also gave the archive, like you have a couple weeks to watch it. One of the really cool things about the Q conference is, yeah, they
Oh,
have
Jennifer.
yes, and AJ Giuliani. So yeah, so I know I was like really
He's really
excited.
good too. I've been to some of his webinars.
And then they have Matt Miller,
Cool.
Adam, Jennifer Casa-Todd, Rustin Hurley. I mean, so they have a lot of really of the names that like we've had them at TIE, or they've written books, or we use their
Or they've been at ISTE.
yeah. So, but their schedule, and I just want to schedule people. Cannot find a schedule, you guys. I'm sorry. But their schedule is typically starts on the weekend, like on a Thursday night, and it's really built around. Here's a schedule at a glance.
Looks like 10 days going there.
So it starts like on Thursday night. It's Friday afternoon into the evening. It's Saturday all day. It's Sunday all day. And then we skip they do late afternoon stuff Monday through Thursday, afternoon on Friday. And then we have a whole nother, day of conferences or sessions on Saturday. And so it is, and they're very high quality, and they have a really good energy too. I stumbled on them last spring because they did this one or one like I don't know which. I think it was this one, and it was amazing. I learned, and that was when Jamboard first came out. That was when Bitmojis were huge. That was and so it was like I was able to learn all these things that were like cutting edge. And I didn't have to present at it. And so it was really fun. So just so you know, as you're thinking about, kind of, looking around, and I can, give you all sorts of ideas if you want more PD, because I think PD is like fun.
Do you want to add that one to our list?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Yeah, there's always more PD than you have time for or brain space for,
Well,
because
but Shelley, the district just offered, they have money right now, don't they, for PD?
They are actually gonna pay for ISTE for all the people in the library because they're really trying to push
Oh.
makerspace, and so they
Cool.
want
Nice.
some kind
Yeah.
of
How do
grant.
I get signed up in that, Shelley?
What?
How do I get involved in that? Excuse me, in that.
James Whitehold.
Okay,
Nice.
that's exciting.
That is very exciting. So I did add that, you guys, so that we have that.
But we also want you to be thinking of these things and know that they come up annually, and these are great organizations, because when the grant's over, we want you to keep sustaining your PD in whatever way works for you.
Oh, and I really have been so blown away by the quality of this online PD that I've been attending. I mean, it's really well done, and and I can always get CE or anything when I attend it. I could get graduate credit. I don't usually go for the graduate credit, but I could. So just opportunities. I dropped it on the
Oh, thank you.
list. Yeah. I am so glad they're sending you guys to ISTE, Shelley. That's awesome. I'm really glad for that.
It
I love-
still has to be approved by the principals, but I'm pretty sure mine is gonna let me go. Or I mean, he doesn't care. It's June, but
Right. Well, good. Good.
yeah, they have that grant money they're gonna use. So
Good.
And so when we see you at that happy hour during TIE, we'll have definite dates when everything's due and all that for your credit for the TIE conference. But coming up before that if you're taking the webinar, this webinar course for the credit, and it's free, we will pay for that. You don't have to pay for any credit at all. Your final project for that one, and some people are already done, is due on, oh, I put it in big yellow down there, March 30th. And of course, we're in the middle of our online course 6, and that one will finish up on April 30th. And then we will be talking to you one more time. We can't let you go that easy.
I'm like, I can't believe it's wrapping up. It doesn't seem possible.
No, I said, wait, we can't just end the course on April 30th and that's it. So it will be brief, but we will get together online just for a wrap up and some celebration. And is this where we wanted to ask? Do they like Saturdays or Sundays better?
Oh, yeah. What would work best for you guys if we were to try to get together? I mean, and we'll do virtual. We won't travel.
And it would be in May, most likely May.
It probably won't be in May. May is a horrible month.
June, it'll be in June?
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, May is always so busy.
I don't know. I
After
kind of
school
like
is already
May.
out.
I
You
like
like
May. I want to be in England in June.
Oh,
Do you really?
Mm.
Oh, I want to go with you.
No
That would be fun.
kidding.
are you really?
Well, my daughter's living there and I haven't seen her for 2 years.
Oh my goodness, you have to go.
Yes.
Well, May after school's out. How's that? Like late May? I don't know.
If school is out, I think maybe, but yeah, May is always just so intense with all of that end of year crazy and
And planning for the new year, at least we did that like that.
well, it's just yeah, all the stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, June, end of May, early June. And Shelley, if you can zoom in from wherever, Shelley.
Oh yeah,
Might as
we
well
can
have
talk to
internet.
In the middle of the night.
we could talk to you in England, yeah.
I for one would like to see England, and so even if it's in the middle of the night.
Could you be at a castle?
Probably. Or some ruins.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so you have any questions about all of that? I mean, we are pretty much following schedule, but we also are encouraging you to, submit something for a session for Ty. Look forward to what are you doing next after the cohort finishes up. But again, we'll still keep up Facebook and we will try to keep up announcements for these things for the other ongoing conferences. How many of you really are ever aware of MPLA? It's Mountain Plains Library Association, which all of our 3 states are members of.
I won a free membership at one of the last Thai conference we were at in person,
Oh, good.
Cool.
but that's all I know about it.
Okay. It's my favorite library association because it's bigger than South Dakota Library Association. No, I mean, I love South Dakota Library Association. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
You're the
it's-
president.
I like the 13 states. So I like the size and it's really great for idea sharing and networking and stuff like that. So I really do. The MPLA has been my favorite, I think, in terms of professional development library conferences that I get to go to. And I actually went not last year, but in 2019 when it was in New Mexico. And it was just so fun. I mean, because there's a smattering of South Dakota people there, but then there's other people that from, there's Wyoming people and, people from all over. And so it was really fun. So Mountain Plains is a good one. And the other thing about Mountain Plains that's really good is if you're looking at professional development funds, they are very generous with their scholarships. And so if there's something that you are kind of thinking about, coming down the pipe and you'd like to attend a conference or you'd like to do something, they have the professional development grant program And it is, I've gone to a couple of different conferences utilizing that. In fact, a couple years ago, I went to a Learning in the Brain conference in Boston as a result of that. And it was really good. So the only thing with that is you have to be a member for, I think it is a year before you can apply. But I mean, it's not as expensive as ALA. And I feel like I
Right.
get way more out of it than I do ALA.
Right. And then they have a leadership. You were part of that, Julie, you remember?
Yep. They had
When when Tate was a baby.
Tate was a baby, yes. They have the Leadership Institute, and I was in the inaugural year in 2002, and Tate was 9 months old. And so Tate, my parents, and I went to Ghost Ranch in New Mexico, and I attended this leadership thing, and it was amazing. It was really, 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 it was really good PD. And they haven't done it every year since, but they do it still regularly. And it's really a great leadership opportunity. And they've changed it because back when I did it, you had to like less than 5 years in the profession or something like that. And now they've changed it up. So it doesn't look at how many years you've been in the profession. And so it really
Right.
opens up doors for people who are looking to move into a leadership role. But yeah, MPLA is a great organization to be part of just because of all the stuff they do. All right. Well, I can stop the recording and we can just chat about things like
Yeah.
podcasts and all those
And,
things.
well, and we'll just finish up that if anyone has any questions, let Julie know, let me know, and it's not required that you write up a session proposal, so
No.
it's not that hard either. It's not hard.